Hello everyone, Kisa here, and I'm back with a video. I haven't done one in a while, but I've been very busy. I haven't stopped playing. I've just been playing, but I haven't been like free enough to make videos and do the editing. Even though my videos are just do one take. This time I'm bringing the dark horse of the Quintuplets deck. This is the 8-choice deck. Very fun deck. Very tricky. Also, it contains Best Girl. So, yeah. Why do I recommend this deck? One, very cheap, as like many decks in the metagame right now. Second, it has some very nice tools. It can attack from many different angles. First, your level 1 combos are interactive. You can manipulate the soul of it very well because it's a twin driver. You have a very high compression level 2 game that it's very good at protecting itself, which is nice. And your level 3 can punish like hyper compressed decks very well and can lead you to wins. Also, there's some very nice tools that you usually don't get to use anymore, and they are really good in this deck. So, as you see in front of your screen, we're playing the 4-3-1 split. This is because, luckily for us, this is the Ichiga deck. The best climax swapper in the set is an Ichiga, so we get to use it fully. It's an easy target to grab. So yeah, 8 climaxes obviously. And now let's go into the level 0s. First of all, shoutouts to Fuutarou for these amazing sleeves. I got them for a while. And I saw Jesus at locals using them. I was like, wait, I have those as well. These are so nice. Oh yeah, level 0s. 4 copies of these new Ichiga from set 3. Red, it's kind of annoying, but doesn't really matter. It's a level 0 bomb. And when it dies, you may pay 1, clock any Ichiga from your waiting room on the bottom of the clock. You look at top 5, you get to add an Ichiga. And then you get to like draw a card and discard 1, which is like really random. It's a very powerful effect. So yeah, 4 copies, it's your +ing 0. Also gets rid of other cards that would like to contest the board. They're really good. We play 3 copies of the Pure Wish Ichiga. This is from set 2. This is a center runner, which is like whatever. And on reverse has the Risa effect, where you look at top 3. You reveal top 3, you add a character to each one. I think it has to be Ichiga name, but basically everything in the deck is Ichiga name, so it doesn't really matter. You just add everything and then discard 1. You play 3. You could play 4. I think 3 and 4. 3 is the risky one because it lets you play more cards. And this is really important because this is the early play condition of your early play for your level 2 games. It's really important. Now, another new card. 4 copies of this new Ichiga. So, when placed, if you have another Ichiga, you look at top 2 and rearrange. That's really good already. But the second effect is the recall effect. You get to ditch 1, reveal top, and add an Ichiga with level equal or lower to the card you revealed. It's basically, if your top 2 allows it, this lets you tutor your entire waiting room for whatever you want. Incredibly powerful card. It's the glue that holds the deck together. Sometimes you're unlucky and you miss on the level, but whatever, you can't win everything. 2 copies of the Brainstorm. Why only 2? Because our back row is usually clogged. But again, we can use the Brainstorm. Sadly, using this locks us out of the -3 soul event, which will be really good in the deck. But sadly, choice restriction says we cannot. And this card is really good, obviously. If you remember for Quints from the Quints 2 deck profile of the Nino deck, Brainstorm 5, if you hit, you find an Ichiga, you may pay 1, sack it to get the 4 at any quintuplet. Really good to go through your deck. You generate a lot of stock in this deck. And then in reality, what happens is that sometimes you can, if you look something you want in the top 2, you can ditch, grab this, and turn the one stock into one of the 2 cards that you look at any point. You can do this with another card I'm going to show later. That's really, really powerful as well. So this is really good. It lets, like in combination with the rest of the deck, you can get everything you want, basically. As I mentioned, 2 copies of the Climax Swapper. I mean, this is one of the most powerful cards in the set. Lets you turn your hand into stock at any point. And obviously Climax Swapping, so this is can be a DH2 Climax Swap. Sometimes you just play to get the stock. That's also a valid play. Really, really powerful card. I wish I could run 3, but it's a little tight on the space. So. But yeah, 3 copies of this Ichika. Remember, this is from set 2, I think. So she has 2 effects. When your character dies, you may sack it from the back row to get the character back rested. And you can rest it to give 1500. And if you target it, I think the level 3 combo, the level 1 combo from set 3, it gives the clock kick. I thought it gave clock kick to anything. Whatever. It's just power. The first effect is the important one for level 2 gameplay. That's why we only run 3. We don't really crunch. Also has some neat plays with some cards that we're playing, so I'm going to play in the pointers section. And 1 copy of this. This is the bottom. This is the level 0 killer, the solo killer. Really, really good card. As I mentioned, when it enters play, if your opponent has 1 cost 0, you skill it. Also, you can, when it comes into play and when it dies, you may discard a quintuplet to draw. So sometimes what will happen is that when you look top 2, you want what's on top, and you don't want to spend stock for it. You can grab this, ditch it, anything, draw. And if you want the second card, you just play over this and draw again. So it has some nice applications with all the top 2 checking you do. Really, really good. We are 19 zeros. I wish I could run 20, but space is really tight in this list. Level 1s, 4 copies of the level 1 combo. This is not the best level 1 combo we could be running, but with what we are attempting to do in the deck, this is really, really good, and this is the combo that we need to play. When it enters play, it gets 15, and when you play the Climax, she gets on attack twin drive, so you can clean your stock, and also she gets at the end of the battle, you may reveal a top card, and you salvage level X or lower, where X is the level of the card that you revealed. The card goes back. So what does this do? Lets you decide if you're going to need to twin drive or not, which is really important to have clean stock. Lets you clean your stock, and lets you get targeted selection from your drop. So that's why you don't care about like the milling. You want to mill at the beginning of the game, so you have a good selection for this. So it's all about the top checking, and you need to get something really, really powerful card. It's not the best, but it's now onto a really, really powerful card that we play 4 of. This is the Treasuring Her Memories event. This card is really, really strong. So what it does is that I cannot play it if I don't have an Ichigan play, but I do. I have a bunch of Ichigans in this deck. You mill 2 like a tobacco event. Then you choose a level X or lower Ichika. You get it back, where X is the levels of the cards you milled. Then you get to look at the top 2 cards of your deck and rearrange. And that's like already cool. But there's a kick here. There's more in this. If you salvage a level 3, you get to bounce a character on the board. That's huge. That's a huge effect. So what happens? You look at top 3. You look at top 2 with this. Like, yo, there's a level 3 there. Oh, now this is a bounce. You can do it at level 1. You can contest Alice with this. This is really, really strong. Obviously, there is no way to just like grab this event aside from like trying to draw it. But the event is so powerful on its own, and it combos so well with the deck that you just run for. This can turn into anything else, and if it turns into a 0, it's already good. All your zeros are really, really good. So yeah, very powerful. Now, level 2 is just a bunch of decks. We play 2 copies of the Nexol counter. Happens to be an Ichi cup, so we appreciate that. A specific effect, when you use the backup effect, you may pay 1 stack a quintuplet and you choose a character and you neck 1 soul. It's really, really strong. Doesn't have to be the character that's battling. So you can like target another column. That's really good. So you can also, because you're playing 2, you can do like sack on this. Next soul 1 and then next soul again. Also, you are technically losing a character, but you can use this 0 to get back what you sacked. For example, lets you dodge a reverse. If the character is too big, you just dodge a reverse. So really cool interactions that you can have. Anti-change counter, it's Ichika named, lets you protect your level 2 game, so it's really, really good. And 1 copy of this. This card has 2 effects. When it's played, you choose a character, you give it a soul, which is nice. It lets you modulate damage, which is really, really good. But also, you may put this into waiting room to choose a character and bounce it back to the hand. This has some very, very neat implications, and I'll explain that later. And now on to level 3s. First of all, we play the Ichika combo from set 2. This has, you need the Pure Wish Ichika on clock as the early play condition. Climax combo with the Intensify and Love Climax. You may, on attack, if you have 4 other quintuplets, you may choose 2 Ichikas from your deck. 1 goes to your hand, 1 goes to your stock. So it gives you nice compression, lets you manipulate well your triggers. Also, it lets you just tutor anything. So when you're starting level 2, you can just grab an anti-change counter to fight. You can just grab more copies. If you do like 2, you can get 2 more. Or if you feel like okay, I can this board can stay, and I want to do it again, you can grab like Climax Swapper, or this if the Climax Swapper is in the waiting room, so you can just set up again. It's really, really strong. And also, she has also when doing this, she gets 3k, so she becomes 14k on attack. So that's why, like, so far we're not running any like assists. Like, this deck is like doesn't care about defensive that much. We use the backups just as like the soul prevention is important, not the power. The anti-change effect is important, not the power. And the last effect is very important as well. It lets you stay at level 2 for longer when this card is attacked. It doesn't have to be a front attack. It can be a side attack. You may pay 1. You look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and then you send any of them to the waiting room, and the rest goes back to the top of the deck. So basically, you just have like a damage scry, but when they declare the attack, so just look. Oh, you find a climax there. You mill the other card, and done. Sometimes if they do it in your last attack, you can look at top 2. If you like the second card, you leave it on the bottom, put the climax on top, cancel, draw the card. Very, very powerful. Now, let's go into the next. 3 copies of this Ichika early play. So, what it does is that you have full board. You may this game's -1 level. Then you may discard a card. Salvage any choice climax from your waiting room back to your hand. And then you may reveal the top card. If it's an Ichika named character, you add that to hand. So basically, if you manage to stay at level 2, you may just play this, get the climax again, and go again. Like if you this is like a resource loop that you keep doing at level 2, and it doesn't matter if your cards die, because you have this to keep them alive. So you basically just always save this with the level 0 back row, or with a counter, and then on the next turn you just do it again. You get extra stock when you do the combo, so you just like keep looping, and if you manage to stay at level 2 for longer, you just like have your entire deck on the stock, and it's just easy. You just win the game. Now, and the finisher, it's the 4 copies of this Ichika. Also, when this attacks, you may choose something and give it 3k. So you just like, this gets 3k, you give it 3 more k. So this is like 17, 18, 5. You can trump a lot of stuff with the power modifiers you have in the deck. So this is very good offensively. Defensively, you don't care, as I mentioned before, because you have the level 0. Unless it gets like clock kicked. But it doesn't happen that much. But yeah, and the finisher, on play heal, very important because we don't have more healers. Like, as you may notice, I'm not running the wedding Ichika from set 1. I wanted to find space for like 1, but you basically, once you start level 2, your gameplay becomes this, and you stop clocking, because this gives you hand and stock, and this gives you the climaxes every time. So you just stop clocking. You don't really need healing, you just need to cancel. You will eat damage sometimes. You ideally you just try to cancel every turn using these and stock they are giving you. It's like you make triple, you get 6 stock, you spend 3 defending yourself and play 2. You net 1 stock every time. And your hand is getting filled every time. And the climax combo is very basic. Remember that you run only 1 copy of the climax in this build. You can run 2, but that means cutting on the other climaxes, and those are really important. You may discard a card, and she gains the ability that on cancel, for every other quintuplet you have on the board, you may choose that many cards from waiting room, put them back in the deck, and you burn X, which is the same amount that you return. So you have full board, you return 4, and they burn 4. So this is you can modulate that. It's like you have a full board, you start playing over, or you have characters that sack themselves, like the brainstorm. That's why the brainstorm is important as well, because like maybe I want to deal combos with X equals 3. Okay, I need to sack my brainstorm then. Or this one, same thing. I need to do it for 3 or for 2. Maybe I lost a lot of work, but I needed to do it only for 2. Nice. Like you can just sack this back row, keep the thing on the board, and play over it. So this is very like modular. You can module this very well. Yeah, that's like the deck. Pointers when playing the deck. Obviously, you're trying to multi your combo. You always have to be very careful of where you live. This is very tricky. Sometimes when you go onto level, what's like when you're at level 1, you want to do like combo, like 2 combo plus 1 of these. So when this dies and you go to 2, you put this before the start of your level 2, so you don't have to clock it. And that would be better if you run 4, but I'm a greedy man. I think 3 is nice enough. Also, the rest of the cards, there's so much work that you're like, I think 3 is what I will have to do. But yeah, also, again, you have a lot of selection. You have a lot of way to get this back. So it's just like combo gets it back as well. So just like be aware where they are and try to hold into 1. It's the same. It's a classic like hold into your early play condition. Really, really like the usual. And then some other stuff that you can do is that, again, as I mentioned, this can draw into anything that you're top checking. One of the biggest issues I run into when playing the deck is that if I use the event or I used the new level 0 that top checks to, many times I was like, damn, I don't need anything except the top card of the deck. This lets you grab that. I added this like today and it worked wonders. It's really, really powerful. It's a really powerful interaction. Then, when it comes after combo, always remember the usual like check your deck size, check how much deck are you gonna mill. Your milling is tied to paying cost of stock. So you need to be aware that you cannot mill through a deck super fast, but you can do it. And then when it comes to the counter management, if you know the matchup is gonna be like early play reliant, you go search this with the combo as fast as you can, and like you try to hold on to these, because again you can manipulate your damage. For example, if you have this into play, and this gets front attacked, you may pay 1. You look at top 2, and there's a climax there. What you can do is that if the attack is for 2, you may neg a soul. So you take the 1, and the next attack that probably has more soul, or it's like on attack burn, you just cancel it. So you can protect yourself in the later stages of the game with this. Or you can just like try to avoid getting into level 3. Maybe there is another background that you could play, something like rest pay 2 heal, but I couldn't find something like that in the card database. Maybe there is something. I just need to look further. That would be a nice addition to this deck, but it is what it is. Like, no, if the card existed, I would have seen it on decks. I've seen a bunch of lists for this deck, and no one has like a background that does that. If there's someone, let me know in the comments. Like, that's something I'm interested for this deck. And then this. So one of the uncanny things that the deck has going for them is that the ability to fight standby decks. This card is amazing against standby decks. You like sack it to bounce, which is really powerful, because you basically make them have to ditch the card again to spend a standby again on the card. And some of the neat tricks is that you have this, and for every copy of this that you have, let's say you have 2 or you have 3, or if you play 4, you can easily play 4 of these. This is not the worst card in the deck. You can just play it, sack this, get it back, then do it again. And if you have another one on the board, you have 2 on the board, you can just bounce 3 cards. Like you have another one, you just bounce, sack, put it in the back, bounce 4 cards. You just dismantle a board with this. So you see a board that's like amazing, use dismantle. I don't know, something like, no, I wouldn't say Nino decks, because those boards aren't like the strongest on the bunch. But for example, if you catch a 9s, now that Order is coming out, you can bounce like the 1/9s. You can bounce like any 2/2 they put. Like if you catch the 9s without bodyguard, without the hexproof yet, you can just bounce it. You just bounce Alice's. If you're still having to deal with Alice, you just bounce it. What else? Any like big board standby deck. For example, in Japanese, I've been having to deal with like, I think Niji that has like the 14k worlds with the double 2/2 plays. You just bounce it. Hololive. If you see, like they put a Gura on the back because they want to save stock. Now put that back on the hand. Like you want them to spend as much stock as possible getting those Guras into place, so eat triple Gura and die. Also, again, this is really good against triple Gura because obviously you eat the damage, but then you get a fresh defensive stride to get the cancel on the Gura swing, which is okay. But yeah, like if you see a Gura, bounce it back. If you're playing against the 8 standby build, like Jason posted, bounce the Lunas to hand. I don't want to deal with the Lunas. Get them back. Bounce the Pekos so you can beat over the Lunas. Every standby deck is just like trembles against the sight of this card, especially if you draw the combo, which is again not hard to set up because you have the level 2 combo. Yeah. Also, the finisher. Quick point in the finisher is like not that reliable. Like it's very easy to manipulate, but not that reliable. Like it won't kill. It's very bad against newly refreshed decks. I think that's easy to point out. So yeah, I hope that you gave this deck a spin. It's really fun. It's a little complicated at the beginning. Like you can make a lot of mistakes, but there's a bunch of powerful cards in the deck that let you like push through what the metagame is doing right now. So yeah, if you like this video, please comment, like. I'll try to make more videos. And speaking of Hololive, I think I'm investing in some Hololive decks. I'm not sure yet. It depends on what I'm able to grab. I'll not be playing BRO this next weekend. I am angry, and I think I'm gonna make a video about that. Like, I have some issues with what happened with the last ban list in Vanguard. It pains me much as like a third world country player when the ban list is that tone deaf. I will talk about it later. I have a video planned for that. But yeah, I hope you like the video. And if you think Ichigai is best girl, as I do, give this deck a try. And see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.